It's Thursday night, and you know what that means. Time for Thematically Speaking, if I can get it right. The show where we speak to people involved in and around the theme park and attractions community. And today, we've got someone I've never spoken to before. It's a great channel. I've seen a lot of his stuff, but I'm going to let him tell you. It's Matt from Breaking Trails Theme Parks and Attractions. How you doing, Matt?
What is happening, guys?
So
glad to be here. Thank you for having me on your show. It is such a privilege. Thank you so much.
If we start with, do you remember when you first got the spark for theme parks and rides? Was it when you were young or more when you were older?
I've had the buzz since I went on Megaphobia on a school trip a long time ago. When it first opened back in '96, I believe, '97. I had my first ride on Megaphobia with my secondary school. And the moment I went on Megaphobia, I thought, this is for me, definitely.
Were you a bit apprehensive beforehand?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, I'd say so. I hated fun fairs. You know, my father used to take me to fun fairs. I hated the noise. I hated the big rides. I hated it all. Until you have a taste for it, then it kind of it develops into a passion, really.
When I think of fun fairs, I think of just some loud DJ shouting something you can't quite hear.
Hold on tight.
It's like when you hear a DJ at a wedding and they're too close to the microphone, you know.
Yeah, definitely. I love all the jingles now in fairgrounds. I love the jingles. I love the microphone on the rides. Hold on tight, you know. One more time, you know, all that kind of stuff. I love it.
So we've already got David Blythe in the chat, and so the Coaster Capture as well. Well, one half of them at least. The day I was watching. And yeah, so do you want to tell us first about how you started your channel? What kind of spurred you on to do that?
Do you want a long story or the short story?
You can give us the long one and we can cut in if people want to add to the discussion.
If you're wondering why I'm going like that with my arm, it's my fresh tattoo. It's itching. Yeah, basically, I suffer with mental health issues. I suffer with a lot. In fact, I suffer with PTSD, emotional unstable personality disorder, clinical depression. I suffer with a lot. And I've suffered mental health for a long, long time, since my teen years. But I'll go into that. I'm going to do a separate video on that on the channel, all about my mental health struggles and like the origins of Breaking Trails and that kind of thing. Let me tilt down a bit. There we are. See the logo? No, look.
Yeah, I noticed that before on the blue bit. It was something like
yeah,
mental health, wasn't it?
Hang on.
I noticed that in your videos before. Yeah, that's
I got my little mental health badge for there. I'm a big supporter of mental health awareness, massive supporter. So yeah, basically I suffered mental health as a teen, and then during lockdown, which we all suffered during lockdown. I had a camera, DLSR camera, and instead of sitting in the house doing nothing during lockdown, I decided to use my the kind of hour or 2 hours we were allowed to leave our house for exercise. I used that to take up photography, and I started reading into photography, really getting into it. And then that developed into, what if I made a little vlog about photography, about my outings? How would that go down? So if you go on the channel, you watch my very first vlog, it's embarrassing and it's cringy to watch. It really is.
Did it have a different name? Did the channel have a different name?
No, it didn't. It didn't have a different name. No, it's Breaking Trails. It is what it is today. But the idea behind it was because of mental health, and I was going out to trails, different nature trails, doing photography. I was breaking the mental health and exploring different trails, nature trails, Breaking Trails. So that's where the name came from. But yeah, that developed into enjoying filming, enjoying vlogging. And then as restrictions started to get lifted and we were able to go out, I started vlogging theme parks and then fun fairs. And it just snowballed from there, really.
Did you have? I wasn't going to ask this, and I don't know if it's too intrusive a question to ask, but because of your mental health and things like that, was there a bit of anxiety when you first were vlogging at parks?
Oh, 100%. Absolutely 100%. A million percent. It was a kind of, when I was going out to nature trails, vlogging in nature trails, I was on my own. I didn't have anybody around me at all, so I was in my own element. And then all of a sudden you change that into vlogging in a theme park or a fairground where there's just people everywhere. Totally different ball game. Totally different ball game. I mean, you check out my earlier videos on the channel, you can tell the anxiety, and I'm not really camera friendly. But like I say, as you vlog and you practice more, you kind of get comfortable with the camera. The confidence comes with that, really. So, yeah.
So if we're talking about trails,
yeah,
it's not one of your first videos, but the video I came across you originally was from the Enchanted Village. So I thought we'd talk about that a bit.
Yeah, so, the Enchanted Village. What do you want to know?
Josh EVZ14. I didn't want to try and pronounce that, so just the letters. He says hi. Thank you for watching. The Enchanted Village. I've not stayed there yet. Have you stayed? I saw in the video you stayed in like a little. I'm not sure what they call it. It was almost like a chalet in a way. Yeah. Have you stayed? Yeah. I've heard about the treehouse hot tub. Did you get to see any of that? Or
wow, yeah, the treehouse is absolutely spectacular. At night time, the whole kind of area is lit up. All the trees are lit up, but you're looking about £1,000 for 2 nights. So
I wasn't sure if it was going to be off somewhere where you couldn't even see it. Because unless you were staying there.
It is secluded in its own way. It's basically a house. It's not a tree house. It is a house. But for £1,000 for 2 nights is, it's quite steep.
So what?
But yeah, the Enchanted Village is a fantastic addition to Alton Towers. It really is.
Had you stayed at the hotel quite a few times before? Was that, and then you saw that and thought we'll stay there this time, or did you just go straight to the Enchanted Village? You see it and think we want to take the family there?
There's so many choices. We normally stay at the Chained Oak B&B, which is about I don't know, a mile down the road from Alton Towers. But the Chained Oak was fully booked, so we were looking for somewhere to. Oh, it's beautiful in Enchanted Village. The kids loved it, but the actual hotel was my favourite. Yeah, it is fantastic. Totally agree with you there, Jess. Yeah, the Chained Oak was fully booked, so we were looking at hotel options, and the Enchanted Village came up, and there was a kind of a special deal on there, and it was my son's birthday as well, and he's always wanted to stay at the Enchanted Village, so that was our choice. We stayed there for the night.
So, what was your first impression when you got there? Because you showed in the video, you show us the. Well, I don't know if you want to explain the actual village itself, if you like, because it's got the shop, and you showed in that in the vlog, and also you went a bit around the other chalets and where the kids could play, and well, you showed everything. I don't know if you want to. I feel like I'm talking through it for you.
Not at all. You carry on talking, my friend.
Yeah, if you want to explain your stay for that video.
Yeah, our stay was fun. The only issue I've got with the Enchanted Village is the car park is quite away from the actual village itself. So you do have to cart your luggage, quite a distance to the chalets. But the chalets themselves are really good. They're really comfortable. They're pretty basic, I've got to be fair. You've got your bathroom, your bedroom, your pull-out bed, your double bed, and that's basically it. But you get the magic of staying in a woodland lodge. It is beautiful, and it's got an on-site shop which doesn't sell a lot, but they sell what you need for your little stay. There's an entertainment complex as well, in a big circus tent. There's plenty of things. I don't know what kind of entertainment they do in there, but when I passed, there were a lot of singing and karaoke and kids laughing. So I'm guessing they do some kind of acts and comedy shows and what have you in there. Yeah, every little like I call it a plot. Every little plot that you get you get like a little playground outside your little plot. So wherever you're staying, there's always somewhere for the kids to play. Really good.
Had you stayed at the Have you stayed at the CBeebies hotel?
I haven't. No, no, no. That's one place I haven't stayed. I'd love to stay there. I really would.
Because I don't know.
Decent.
I don't know if that'd be an option for you now, because some of your kids are older, aren't they?
The eldest one is 14. So yeah, he's not. He's like anti-CBeebies now. Uh, but the other two would quite happily stay at the CBeebies Land Hotel. That's one thing I'd love to experience. But maybe one day, hopefully one day we'll stay there. But yeah, the Enchanted Village is really good. I really enjoyed it. The Crooked Spoon, where you have your breakfast and evening meal.
Actually looked quite decent, I thought.
Oh, it's fantastic. Really good. There's not a huge range of options, food options for the breakfast buffet, and it does get quite busy and it's quite compact in the Crooked Spoon. But yeah, it is what it is. It's it's only for breakfast, and then you get to head out to Alton Towers. So it is good for what it is.
David's asking, what is your favourite part of Alton Towers if you want to chill out? I know what mine is, but I won't ruin it.
I don't even need to answer this. I don't even need to answer it. It's the gardens. The gardens.
Yeah, but there's a specific part in the gardens. I don't know if you know which bit I'm on about.
Oh.
I sort of hate telling people in a way, because then they find out about it if they don't know about it.
Specific part in the gardens.
Yeah.
You got me there.
It's the other side of that statue. The white statue says it's got a massive S in front of it in the grass. If you go to the other side, at the top of the where the waterfall is.
Yeah.
And you can see down over everything, and there's like a fence so you don't jump off it. And then there's like 3 or 4 benches. And I think that's still my favourite place in the whole park. I don't know if
is that where they did the for Christmas time they did a kind of walk through that area, didn't they?
I can't remember what it's called now, with the lights. They did
Whispering Souls, I think it was called.
Oh, Halloween Scarefest.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what area you're on about. Oh, Coaster Capturer, hello, how are you? Thought they were too warm. Yeah, the Coaster Capturer's a guy I missed in Alton Towers while I was vlogging. While I was vlogging in Alton Towers, he shouted my name behind me, and I had my vlogging head on, and I didn't even notice he walked past. So when I got my vlogging head on, I'm just kind of tunnel vision,
So what's your favourite ride at Alton Towers?
Oh, come on, though. Come on, though, really?
It's either going to be Nemesis or Smiler, depending if you're old school or you're new school.
Nemesis.
I've asked everyone who's been on the show since they announced they're retracking it.
Yeah,
are they doing that in the off season, or are they closing it?
It's going to be the retrack is starting in December. It's going to be closed for a whole season. So, if you want to ride the Nemesis that it is now, jump on it this year before December, because that's the cut-off date, and then it's going to be closed for the next season. Because the retrack is going to take a long time. The only parts they're not retracking is the lift hill and the brake run. All the rest of it is just being retracked.
That was a lot more informative than anyone else I've asked. Everyone else doesn't know or doesn't want to say. But
I like reading into my things. But yeah, it's due a retrack, but it is. I just hope it doesn't lose some of the magic of Nemesis. I really hope it doesn't lose any of it. Goes down for major reason. Can't wait for the retrack. See how it rides. It's going to ride a lot smoother. I can guarantee you that.
I hope it does.
But I know that they're filling the track with sand and the supports with sand as well to.
They're filling the track as well.
Make it a little.
I know they're doing the supports.
Yeah. The supports are being filled with. I can't think of the name of the sand. It's a special kind of sand, and the track then is a different kind of sand. just to make it quieter, because they've had a few complaints about the roar of Nemesis. So, yeah, it is what it is. There we are.
It's not going to be a great. Well, it'll be a good season next year, but that's definitely going to put a dampener on it. I think it's going to put the queue lines up. Maybe they'll get more retro squad. What do you think?
I hope so. I hope so. The retro squad rides have gone down a storm. They really have.
Yeah, I think they'll keep the restraints the same, Dan. I don't think they'll.
No, I don't think they're going to change the restraints. Definitely, Mason Sand. That's the one.
That's the one. So,
yeah, I'm looking forward to the retrack. I'm looking forward to it.
People can comment below if they still want to talk about. If anyone wants to ask any questions about anything, just comment below. But
Fire
because
away.
it's you, I thought we could talk a bit about. I've not been there in a while. Talk about Oakwood. Talked about it a bit at the start. Have you been recently?
Oakwood. I don't want to say it. I don't want to. I don't want to put down the park. I really don't. But Oakwood, since my teen years, Oakwood has just gone downhill. It's not what it used to be. They really need to invest in our park heavily. They really, really, really do.
It's really odd because there's kind of like glimmers of stuff happening, like different bits of the park. And then, did they ever open Haunted Hollow in the end? I remember when I went, they were still building it, but I don't think they ever even did it. Did they?
Haunted Hollow.
Yeah, I'm sure they were building it near. I mean, this was quite a while ago now. I think this was like 2014 or 15, I think, and they had boards near the Spooks. Is it Spooks for Us? Like that EV ghost train where someone just pushes the car.
That still happens.
Oh, still got that. I thought you were going to say that was gone as well.
That still happens, yeah. It's called Spooky 3D, which is not great. It is not great. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's not great. But it's basically 3D glasses on, a load of 3D paint in the walls. That's it. That is it.
Yeah, but the selling point for me is that to get it going, the person has to push it.
They still got to do it. They still do it. They still do it. I went to Oakwood a couple of weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
When they opened Bounce after 6-7 years being shut down. But yeah, Bounce is back, which is good. But yeah, that's the only investment they've made, really, to be honest with you.
I remember, was it? I keep getting this wrong because they renamed it after the accident, I believe. But is it Drench now, or is it Hydro?
It used to be Hydro. Now it's Drenched.
The sound that makes when it comes down the drop is immense.
Oh, I know. Such a roar on that. But that was actually closed when we went a couple of weeks ago, unfortunately, because as you know, I don't know if you know, but I filmed with a 360 camera.
Oh, that looked brilliant on there.
And I'd love to get some footage standing on the bridge with the water coming in slow motion in 360. It'd be brilliant. It'd be really good.
We'll be open again soon, I'm sure.
But yeah, treetops are still there.
The Peter Pan area seemed like a good effort when I went.
Say again?
The Peter Pan area when I went seemed like a good effort.
Yeah, that's still
a decent effort at the time.
That's still there. Yeah, that's still there. I'm not a huge fan. I mean, Oakwood is owned by what's the name of them? Aspro Parks. Oakwood is owned by Aspro Parks, which actually own aquariums and things like that, amusements, mainly in Europe, abroad. It's their first actual theme park. They've never managed a theme park.
Oh, I've never owned a theme park before.
Never owned a theme park. They specialize in aquariums and little amusements. So the management of Oakwood is not the best, should I say. Congo River Rapids.
If that was to go, what would you put in its place? I would not put a back water coaster there. If it depends, are the height restrictions there, Dan? So the height
A
restrictions
lot
are
of
there. You're not
people are
going to get.
talking about this. There's a lot of noise about this on social media about Congo River Rapids going. I don't know if it's true or it's not true. I don't know.
I talked about it a couple of weeks ago with Drills and Food. I was saying now they've opened up the path under Wickerman because it used to only be open at fireworks. Now you can go under there all the time. I've no need to walk past the rapids, so I've not even walked that way this year. So I
No.
don't even ride the mine train or the rapids anymore because I just come out near Jewel, go on that, and then go to Nemesis, which is a bit of a shame.
8 times out of 10, since I've been a few times this year now, it's been completely dry and drained. So I don't really know what's going on with it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I saw it running when we went last time we went a few weeks ago, but
right.
I don't. They seem to like getting rid of the old rides. Apart from they won't get rid of Nemesis. I don't think they're that silly, but I don't know.
I don't know. I'd like to see. I'd like to see a good old fashioned log flume coming back. I really would. I think
it's the safety of it, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. Since the unfortunate accident a couple of years ago in Drayton Manor, was it?
Drayton Manor. Yeah, I didn't know if you were going to bring up Dreamland in Australia as well, which was a different type of accident.
Yes, and Dreamland as well. There's a couple of unfortunate incidents which I think contributed to the waterfalls being switched off permanently.
I think that ruined the atmosphere a bit.
Oh, definitely,
not the same
definitely.
feel.
But you look at the rapids in Legoland. You know, they're pretty intense.
They're probably my favourite ones in the country, to be fair.
Oh, definitely, yeah, they're brilliant in Legoland. I love the rapids in Legoland. Fantastic.
I think Thorpe Park's probably my least favourite.
I don't know what I'd like to... A Mack water coaster. I don't know. I don't know.
What would you put there? Would you put something more family orientated there then?
It's in the same area as Runaway Mine Train. It's in the same kind of area as Jewel. It's in the same area as Sea Life. Yeah, I think a family kind of ride would fit there quite nicely. It's in a quite family orientated area by there. So, yeah, I think a nice family ride would go nice there. Definitely.
What would you put there?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe something like
Dark Ride.
Yeah, Dark Ride would be nice. But I think maybe some kind of jungle cruise or something. Something along those lines, yeah?
That would work, actually, if they could keep some of the parts of the rapids.
If you think about it, it's in Katanga Canyon. So it's in a canyon. You know, it's kind of all based around tropical area. So I think a nice jungle boat ride would go quite nice by there.
In your personal opinion, where does Katanga Canyon start? Because the sign is almost in Mutiny Bay. You know when you see that sign on the left? Would you say that's where it starts? Or does it start after that? Where's your line?
Oh, you got some tricky questions, haven't you?
The questions no one else is thinking of.
I think Katanga Canyon, for me, definitely starts at Sea Life. Starts at Sea Life.
Oh, yeah.
Anything up from there, then, yeah, up until Jewel, I think that's when it ends.
It's a shame there's nothing else in Gloomy Wood, really, but I suppose you can't.
But I think Katanga Canyon could do with a bit of investment, a bit of TLC, definitely. I think it's one of the more, not neglected areas of the park, but it's one of the more needs improvement parts of the park.
So,
Exodus.
What did you do to alter Exodus at Thorpe Park? I'm kind of 50-50 if I'm 100% sure what it is.
After Exodus at Thorpe Park. Oh,
from what I've seen of the layout, it looks decent, but part of me was thinking it looks like a decent coaster, but is it bringing? Is there something we're meant to know that it's bringing that's a first in the UK or something that's new, or is it just Thorpe Park?
It's meant to be a first. It's meant to be a first. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's like the hype we had with 13. You know, when that was coming to Alton Towers, we had all the hype with 13. We had the adverts. We had the promotional kind of concept of it. And then when 13 actually dropped, it was bit of a
Do you remember what
letdown.
they said about 13? It was all the rides you've been on in one.
Yeah, I do
I remember the
remember. I
posters
remember
with
well.
Surrender, and everyone thought it was going to be called Surrender, which I think would have been a better name, to be fair.
I
It's like
remember when you
Surrender to
had
the
to sign a
Forest.
waiver to go on it.
Yeah, they were really trying to push that.
Yeah, I enjoy 13. It's a smooth coaster, but yeah, it's a bit, you know, about
Oh, Canyon starts from
Safari.
the waterfall where the sign is. So roughly where you said.
Yeah,
So
kind
would
of
you
starts
say
from the water.
sea life is in Katanga Canyon then?
Yeah, I'd say sea life is Katanga Canyon, definitely.
'Cause
Yeah, that's
I
where I
remember
think it.
I got confused when Wicker Man opened because Alton Towers didn't want to say it was in Mutiny Bay, but it sort of
It's
kind
a
of
bit
is
of a
in Mutiny
weird.
Bay.
It's a bit of a weird area around there because you got Wickham on one side, you got Sea Life the other side. It's a bit of a weird area for me.
And a burger kitchen as well.
Coaster Capture, isn't it meant to be taller
Exodus.
than the big one? Yes, it is meant to be taller than the big one, by 2 foot, I believe.
They still
So
play that tape in the station for the big one.
for
Uh, for the big one that says it's the tallest roller coaster in Europe or something. I remember they used to play that. I don't know
last
if they
time I was
still
back
do.
at Pleasure Beach, they didn't play it, but there's kind of a voiceover now rather than a video. Which really fits with the ride really well. I love the music of the big one. The fact that the new music is brilliant. The new voiceover is fantastic. But yeah, I enjoy the big one. It's very rough, but I enjoy it.
There's the world's first element on Exodus, so I don't know if that's been told
What
yet.
other world's first element could you have? I mean,
As
there's
long as
so
it's a
many.
world first, I didn't like the probably a personal thing. I didn't like the way that Alton Towers worded the Smiler when it was world beating. I was like, that doesn't sound like the right kind of thing you'd say about something. Oh, it's world beating.
No. Do
I
you
was going
think
to
the
ask about
Smilers? Do you
what was that
think the
last thing?
Smilers world beaten?
Well, technically, it's got 14 loops, but it's really weird. I wasn't excited about it at all when it
No.
was going to open. My friends were. Then it opened, and I rode it, and I was like, they've put a lot of effort into this. And then as I rode it more, it was getting a bit rougher, and now it's all
Yeah.
right. I can't remember the last time I rode it, to be fair, but it was like a lot of things. Like I hope they don't get rid of the pre-show on Wicker Man and things like that because they seem to put like actors outside new rides like Gangster Granny, but then after a couple of years, when they're focusing on the next new thing, they just let it kind of go stale.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd love to know your thoughts on Saw in Thor Park. What's your thoughts on Saw?
I love Saw. I thought that was good. I thought Saw was great. Talked about this the other week actually because Thorpe Park, the website says Swarm has got 5 inversions, and I
Yeah.
said, well, if that's got 5 inversions, that sideways loop, then that little bank turn after the half loop on Saw should be an inversion as well. But no, I really like
Yeah.
Saw. I love the indoor bit, but then I love the films. To be fair,
Yeah.
I
I
did
love
like
the
the maze
film.
when it was there as well.
I hate Saw. The ride. I hate it. I hate it with such a passion.
What?
I
Because it's
really
rough.
do. It is very rough.
That last
And
inversion before the station is rough. Yeah.
uh, it's, it's just hitting. As soon as you go the beyond vertical drop, as soon as you hit that bottom element, oh,
You're
it's
shaking.
just pure pain.
I
Pure
was going to
pain.
ask you what you thought about Thorpe, because to me it seems like, and I don't think maybe they're not trying to do it anymore, but they don't seem to cater for families. I find not very well.
Thorpe Park.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
as you've got a family, I was going to ask your opinion on it.
I take my eldest, my 14-year-old, and I have a baby. Oh, I leave the other two in the house all alone on their own. They cook for themselves and everything. No, they have a
You know they're
babysitter
going
for
to
the
get comments about
day. No, they have a babysitter for the day. I take my eldest to Thorpe Park because, like you said, there's not a lot for There's not a lot in there that caters for families apart from the flying fish. But yeah, that's about it. Really, it's more
Well,
aimed towards the teenagers. You know,
I don't know. They've got dodgems and things. They've got Angry
they
Birds.
got the Angry Birds land, yeah, which has got a Dodgems, it's got the small drop tower, and that's it. That's it. You know, so I like
No, I thought
Saw,
Saw was
which
good.
I wish it was longer. I don't. I wish it was shorter. I really do.
What do you think about the new rides not fitting the theming that's already there? So whenever they seem to have a new ride at Thought, the last 3 or 4 have all been, let's build a new area for it. It's not going to merge in with the rest of the park. Like Swarm area looks good. It looks amazing,
It
that small
does.
area. But it
It
didn't.
does.
And then you had Saw, Walking Dead, Darren Brown, which are all good, but they seem to just, they're their own thing. It's almost like looking at a movie park almost, where everything's
Yeah,
just themed to
definitely. Yeah.
itself and doesn't merge in with anything else.
I don't know. They could. I mean, they're building a new Exodus, Project Exodus by Samurai. Well, quite close to Samurai, which I think they're going to get rid of Samurai personally. I really do.
Are you going to miss
But
that?
yeah, say again.
Are you going to miss Samurai?
Nope, 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 nope.
I love
Nope.
that ride. I thought it was really good. But the times it was
No,
working.
not going to miss Samurai. The last cycle I had on Samurai was about, I don't know, 50 seconds long. It was a terrible cycle, really was. But I think they're going to do away with Samurai. And yeah, it'd be nice to see. It all depends what Project Exodus is all about. I mean, we haven't had any leaks or any kind of info on,
Does
the
the name
theming
excite you?
behind it.
Does the name of the
Say
project
that.
excite you? I remember
In a
Project
way,
Villain was Saw, wasn't it? I can't remember the other
until
project.
I know more, then I'm just kind of plateau about the whole thing.
I think I've still got pictures saved on here, but I was going to quickly, just to get your opinion on it and to bring it up in the chat again,
Yep.
get your opinion on, where is it? The Drayton Manor logo.
Yay. Oh, wow. Wow.
You weren't expecting that.
Wow. What is it? What is it?
I haven't got the bird in front of me right now, but it apparently encapsulates everything Drayton Manor is hoping to offer people.
The first time I've seen it, I just do not get it. I just don't get it at all. I really don't. Like, you go back to the old logo, you've got
there we go.
Shockwave in the background. There we go. You got Shockwave for there. Nice and colourful, vibrant, bursts out with colour. Drayton Manor theme park. Nice
Jerry's here as well. Do you want to say hello to Jerry? We're talking about him earlier.
Jerry Taylor, how are you, my
Jerry
friend?
Cannell, Mr. Dr. Kelman.
No way. Is he on here?
Yeah, that's his account. Oh, no.
No. Hello, Jerry. How are you doing, my friend?
So what I said last week is wild bland. Well, I was kind of mad. I'm kind of talking over you now, but I briefly talked about it last week. I was kind of mad at first because I just thought it doesn't look that iconic as the old one. The colours are a bit like Alton Towers. And then I got mad again because I thought someone got paid a lot of money to do that. And then I just kind of dropped it and thought, well, they're not going to change it as much as anyone dislikes it. So we just
they're not going to change. They may change it, in regards to how many people disagree with it, because I know a lot of people on social media disagree with the logo. I mean, when you think about it, they could have since the looping group have taken over Drayton Manor, they could have incorporated a loop in there. They could have incorporated their company logo in there.
Have you got an annual pass?
Have I got a
annual pass for Drayton Manor?
I have, yes. I have.
Because that includes a West Midlands Safari Park visit.
It does, actually, which I'm heading in 2 months now. It does,
so I was going to ask if you'd used it. Does it include the ride section, or do you still have to pay extra for that?
I'm not aware, to be honest. I haven't really looked into it. I'm not I mean, when you compare the old logo,
you kind of can buy a wristband, I think, to go on all the rides.
You can buy a wristband, yeah. I think it's about £18, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I probably am wrong, but you'll have to look it up. Yeah, it's shocking. Shocking.
I feel like it's kind of one big meme at the moment.
They've incorporated a loop in the O of Drayton, but
That reminded me of the Smiler.
it does look like it does. Yeah, not a fan. Not a fan at all. Not a fan. Really not a fan. Yeah, I'm just not a fan at all. Do colouring competition with this. Yeah. Looks like colouring competition.
Maybe it was someone's wish to do that. Who's someone who wasn't very well or something. Just to do that. So they went, yeah, let's put it up. But it doesn't look great.
Like you said, they've actually paid somebody to do that and create it. And
I think that's all you have to say for people to just sort of shake their head at it almost.
I'm just not a fan. I really am not a fan.
I can't wait till they put that on a hoodie. You got to buy that. Got to buy a hoodie with that.
How bland will that be on a hoodie?
So I'm guessing they haven't planned it out because they've done that halfway through the season. So I'm guessing that waterfall near Stormforce still has the old logo on it.
Yeah.
Unless they were quick enough to go, let's turn the water off, put the new logo on.
Why didn't they incorporate the new Viking area? Why didn't they incorporate Adventure Cove? You know, why didn't they incorporate
about that?
But yeah, I'm not a huge fan. I
was going to talk about the Viking thing.
Say again.
I was going to talk about the Vikings thing in a bit, but we can carry on what you're saying.
Yeah, if you compare the old one, bursts of colour, really vibrant, catches your eye. Drayton Manor theme park, shockwave in the background.
They've had that
new
for so
logo,
long.
Flat colour, 2 stars. Says resort, not theme park.
I think that's the rating the park's got at the moment.
2 stars.
They're not hiding it.
2 stars, yeah. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Really, I'm not a fan.
I'm gonna say I've put in the description below on this video a link to it because I couldn't find a place where I could get. I don't really want a shirt on this show anyway because I thought it was stealing from where it is. But the new Drayton Manor video they released yesterday for hyping the new Vikings area. I don't know if you've seen it.
Have I seen it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it looks amazing. It looks absolutely fantastic. I can't wait.
I'll say the bad stuff first. There's one bad thing that struck out to me about that, and then we can talk about how good it is. But did you think the music sounded like something that wasn't family orientated? It was very full on and like
it is
almost intimidating. Heavy. The music.
It's intimidating. It's a bit heavy. Yeah, I agree with you over there. But the logo is very family oriented. It's all very good. The logo is fantastic. Yeah, they could have changed the music. It seems a bit Wickerman-ish. But yeah, I'm excited. I really am excited. Really am.
But if anyone wants to see that video later on, it's in the description for this video. But it just it's like an open plan fly through, and a friend of mine helped make it because he's part of the Coaster Gen channel, and they did the mock-up map for it that they released a while ago for the area. And he did the mock-up video, but I don't know if he had any say in that music. But that was the only thing that stood out. I thought it looked really good, but the whole time I was thinking, this music's very kind of like you say, like Wicker Man or something. It just seems like
it is. It is a bit intimidating, but I'm sure you know once all the promotional work has done its bit, the rest will carry on. You know. But yeah, I'm really excited. It's fantastic to see Looping Group put in a ton of investment into Drayton Manor because it's been, you know, so let's be honest, it's been stagnant for quite some time now, Drayton Manor. So yeah, it is. It's fantastic. It's really good.
Do you think that's why they put the logo out about a week or two ago? Because they knew that was going to look good. So they put this really kind of not great logo out, and then just before something really good happens, so people won't go, oh, we're not looking at the logo anymore. We've got this Vikings thing that looks brilliant now.
I think they may redo the logo. They may, because of the company changeover, that may just be they've just chucked it out there because of the change in the company. But, you know, they may change it and improve it. I hope they do, but we'll see.
Dan says, Canonian from Leeds. Did Drayton have a chance of getting Canonian? Canonian was a good ride. I don't know if you ever got to ride it. It was at Leesburg in Sweden. It was it's like it was an accelerator coaster, and they had to get rid of it because Helix kind of took its place almost. So there's no point.
I don't think that would work in Drayton Manor anyway. To be honest, too, I don't think accelerator coaster. I mean, we've got the first in the UK, which is Zamperla Nebulous.
That looks really good.
It looks fantastic.
It kind of messes with your mind almost because you think it's going to hit itself, and then it.
I think the only other one is in Efteling, if I remember correctly. I think there's one in Efteling, or Plopsaland de Pan is one, or Heidi Park is one over in Europe. But yeah, the first in the UK, I can't wait to ride it. I really can't.
Now we've got the more people have tuned in. Do you want to tell them the story about your first coaster again, briefly?
My first coaster.
Yeah.
My first coaster.
Or was it not the same one you told me about? Because I asked you when you first got into coasters. Maybe
yeah, same one.
Your first coaster though.
Megaphobia.
Oh, it was Megaphobia.
Megaphobia, first coaster. Megaphobia. That was my first proper coaster. I mean, I went on, little fairground things like, Dragon's Run or the Runaway Train, things like that. But yeah, I don't class them as coaster credits.
Do you do credits? What's your score?
No, I don't do credits, mate. No, I don't do credits. I don't know. I don't. But yeah, Megaphobia for me. That was my first ever coaster. And then the wood feeling seeped into my body and I loved it. So yeah.
Is it better than Wicker Man?
Say again?
Overtake it? Did Wicker Man overtake it for you or not?
Did Wicker Man have a...
Wicker Man overtake it for you? Is it better than Megaphobia?
No. Oh yeah, no? Definitely. 100%, yeah. 100%. 100%. I rode Megaphobia a couple of weeks ago and I came off with arthritis.
It's part of the experience, though, isn't it?
It is the experience, but I prefer Grand National over Megaphobia any day of the week.
So, usually this part of the show, I do a quiz, but because you've got a choice now, you can do the quiz I was going to give Joe last week, or you can do the quiz that I wrote up. Because I wrote one up specially for Joe last week, but then he couldn't come on, and it's mostly about parks in the Northeast.
Yeah.
Or I've got another one that's kind of got questions from everywhere, including Oakwood.
Fire away. I'm going to do terrible. I know I am.
Which one do you want to do? Which quiz do you want to do?
It's entirely up to you. It's your show.
Yeah, but I'm letting you decide. It's first for the show. Coaster Jen is here. We've just been talking about your Vikings video. The link is in the description.
Fire away. I'm going to do terrible either way.
I'll do the all-round one, I think, because it's got some Oakwood questions in there. Right, number one. Name Oakwood's signature wooden roller coaster.
Phobia.
Megaphobia, yeah. Number two. Name the creative mind behind such rides as Nemesis, Air, and Oblivion.
Say again.
Name the creative mind behind such rides as Nemesis, Air, and Oblivion.
John Wardley.
Yeah. Which UK roller coaster included? This is quite. This. Bear with me here. This might be a long question. Which UK roller coaster included an advert of a man stuck on a snowy mountain with the slogan, "Make some memories, you may need them"?
Oh God. UK roller coaster.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Everyone will be YouTubing this advert after.
Not Icon, is it? No.
No.
No. I knew it.
Rita, Queen of Speeds.
Oh God. It's going to go downhill from here, I'm telling you.
You say that, but usually I have people on and they get one question wrong near the start and then they just get 9 out of 10. So you might be right. The Vekoma Boomerang Wipeout is situated at which UK park?
Oh. Vekoma Boomerang.
Used to be the missile at American Adventure.
Wipeout.
Little extra fact. There are signs on this ride telling you not to scream because there are like residential houses near.
Really?
Yeah.
I give up.
Pleasurewood Hills.
I've never been there. Pleasurewood Hills, never been there.
Name Oakwood's Gerstlauer Eurofighter roller coaster.
Oh, Speed.
Yeah, he's got it. He's got it. He's got it. Vampire at Chessington. What adventures opened in what year?
Oh no, then no. I know this, but I'm gonna get it wrong. I know I am. It's an aerodynamics, and they've had so many issues with it before it became Vampire, and I believe Vampire opened it was the early 80s. 82?
1990.
Oh, come on. Oh, my God. See? It's
Well,
going to go
if it
downhill.
makes you feel any better, you only need one more right answer to tie with David Blythe and Dan Marks when they came on and got 4 out of 10, I believe. Drayton Manor offers a rainy day guarantee for an extra £2. True or false?
Actually, that's true.
Yeah, it's true, yeah.
That's true, Adam. That's true.
That's true, yeah. So you've at
£2.
least got 4. What year did Alton Towers open the Enchanted Village?
Oh, I
This
just
is according
stayed
to
there.
Google.
What tricky question is I just stayed there? It's going to look shocking if I get this wrong now, isn't it?
Not really, because you didn't stay there when it first opened.
That was in 2019, I think.
I've got 2015.
Oh, man.
Number 9. Name the new spinning feature added to Pleasure Beach's icon.
Oh, Enzo.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. You got at least 5.
Enzo.
I'll be impressed if you get this one, because I got this one off Google, and I hope it should be.
That's not fair. That's cheating.
Legoland Windsor. Right, it's to do with Legoland Windsor. What was the name of the first child to enter Legoland Windsor called?
What was the name of the first child? The first
child, I think it means ever in the park, because it was before it actually opened to the public.
What's the name of the first child that entered Legoland Windsor?
Yes.
How am I supposed? Come on, no.
Oh, well, I got to this point where people were getting 9 out of 10 every week, so I had to make the
reckon Macaulay Culkin. Why not?
No, I'll tell you what. His name was Ben, and he helped to install Big Ben in Miniland before the park opened
just
to the
about
public.
to say that. I'm just about to say that as well.
Got 5 out of 10 though, so I think David Blythe wants to come back on the show, because I think he said that Dan Marks drove his score down that week when he got 4.
That is like the impossible. What kid?
Yeah, that was quite a hard quiz, to be fair. But I keep getting people come on and get 9 out of 10, and I thought, well, I've got to make a bit. I wasn't sure if that would be difficult.
That's an insane question. I didn't. I thought they just opened the gates and everyone come in. Or it'd be something stupid like Ryan's World or something.
So we'll carry on talking, but if people want to talk about anything in general, they can comment below. But also, if Ghost again, and if Luke Holdsworth wants to talk about the Drayton Manor logo, we've been talking about that. I know. I know Luke will probably have some opinions on that.
I hate it. That's my bottom line. I hate it. I hate it.
It's brought everyone together though, hasn't it?
It has. It has for the wrong reasons, but yeah, it has. But I'm really hoping they kind of rebrand and come up with a new logo in the future, because it doesn't represent what the Looping Group wants to do with Drayton Manor. You know, on the logo, it's fine. Like you said, it's done. It's out there. It's created.
The Vikings logo is good though.
Really good, considering you did the quiz on your own. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, some people have done it in pairs and things.
I think I deserve a different question from that last question.
Okay, I can give you a different question.
Give me a different question.
I'll pick one from the quiz I did. Well, I could.
I'll still get it wrong.
Pick a number between 1 and 10.
10.
10. What was the name of the first? How many seats does Maelstrom have at Drayton Manor?
Oh man, Maelstrom. That has got 15.
Maelstrom is the spinning flat ride.
15. No.
Do you want another guess? There's a lot. I think there's a lot more than that.
15.
Always from now on, whenever you do a quiz, always think, if you don't know the answer, there's a chance the answer could be Ben.
Let's go with 20.
You want to go with 20?
Yeah.
Is that your final answer? It's 32.
Oh, come on, man. Shows how much I know about theme parks, doesn't it?
I was thinking next week when the coaster captures come on, I could do a quiz for each of them and they can compete.
Oh, I'm going to be watching that. You better not beat me. You know
what happened? One person will get a load of easy answers, the other won't, and it would just be like, yeah.
Coaster capture's going to walk away with a big VAT 0. That's what he's going to walk away with.
Oh, well, last week we were talking about having a big... there's going to be a big face-off to see who does better photos, coaster capturers or coaster tog. But I think now that you're on your photography, you could probably compete with them.
Oh, I don't know about that. I've seen some of the pictures coaster captures come out with it. Absolutely.
Yeah, I saw a picture today on their Instagram, and it looked like he jumped the fence. He was so close to the smiler.
Oh, some of the photos he comes up with are insane. They're beautiful photos. Really are. Really are.
What you want to do is not have a domestic, because if they've still got it at Thorpe Park, you can pay to go on that beam and gladiator style fight it out.
Yeah. Get him in the Vikings arena in Drake Manor. Let him fight.
That's why it had that intense music.
Be like Mortal Kombat. Fight.
What do you think the next roller coaster on Towers will be?
Towers.
Where do you think it will be?
What age do you think I'll be? What's
the name of the first person who goes on the ride?
What do you think the next roller coaster Towers will be? I think I don't know. There's not a lot of room to work with.
To answer that, you'd have to kind of say, where do you think it will be?
Yeah, exactly.
They're sort of running out of space without.
They are running out of space. They are definitely running out of space.
Dark Forest.
Yeah, there's a bit of room there. There's quite a lot of room where the old flume used to be.
I don't know if they want to kind of keep that as a bit of a tribute. They've kept some of the track there, haven't they? As a kind of like this.
Yeah, the only bit left of the flume are the supports. I think that they're still there.
I wasn't sure if they kept that bit that was underground.
What, the supports?
They just like kept the track there in general because it was less effort to.
They should have kept a bit of track there, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe some kind of spinning coaster like Storm Chaser in Paulton's Park. I think would be nice.
I don't know if they would get that because I remember John Wardley at, I think it was either Towers Times or European Coast Club event. Someone was asking him about Wicker Man, and it was something about not Wicker Man, sorry, the Smiler. We were there because the Wicker Man was going to open, and he said something about someone asked him if it was true when they had a meeting about the Smiler when they were building it. Shall we give it 13 loops? And someone said no because we've got a ride called 13. And then he said, yeah, that actually happened in the meeting.
That's a fair point, man.
And why I'm saying that is because I think someone will turn around and go, no, we're not going to have one of those spinning coasters because we've got Spinball and that does the same thing. And I think,
yeah,
that's just what it, when you said that, I thought, yeah, I can imagine if the same people were in charge there, they'll probably just say that.
I don't know. Towers have done a lot of investment. I mean, you know, they reimagined CBeebies Land. That's had a new makeover. There's a couple of new attractions in CBeebies Land.
The shop's smaller, though.
Andy's Dinosaur Dig, Jojo and Gran, Hey Dougie Adventure, you know, the Gangster Granny, World of David Williams. I think the next thing to go... Say again?
They need more rides like Gangster Granny, just the way it's...
What do you think of Gangster Granny?
I thought it was brilliant. I mean, I've not read the book, but I thought the actual ride itself and the way it was presenting itself, there was a lot going on without. It was like almost smoke and mirrors. There was a lot going on, but there kind of wasn't a lot going on. You were just made to feel like there was, but it worked. I thought.
I think the next thing is going to be the dungeon. That's not going to last.
No.
No, I don't think that's going to last.
I wonder what happens in there when they get quiet, because they've still got to pay those actors.
Yeah, they do. I
quite like the dungeons. We normally do that nearly every time we go, because it's only a £5 with the annual pass.
Would you do it again and again and again and again?
We probably do it on average every other time we go.
Right.
But that's partly because we know some of the actors in there.
They can't get into the area so protected. I didn't know it was a protected area. Ah. That's a good point. It's a protected area by the flume. Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, he knows the story that John Wardley told as well, yeah. About the 14 loops. About the washing machine element that was meant to be in it as well. That's a story for another day, I think.
What's your favourite coaster in the UK? Your number one?
My number one?
Yeah.
This is meant to be, you're the guest on the show. I've never thought about, I'd probably say Wicker Man. Because my favourite coaster I've ever been on is Wodan at Europa Park. I think it's just, I remember I came off that the first time I rode it, and I was just turned to my friend who was with me. I just went, that is Untamed. Meaning, I didn't mean the ride Untamed, because there's a ride called Untamed as well, but I was like, that Wodan just feels untamed. It just goes.
It was that good.
But in the UK, I'll probably say Wicker Man, but yeah, I'm not giving it much thought, because I don't know, I like the inside bit of Saw. Now you've talked about it earlier, I kind of get what you mean, but I like the indoor bit.
I hate Saw. I hate it with such a passion. I really do. Can't stand the ride. I'll go on it, but I can't stand it.
Well, even if there's a queue?
If there's no queue, I'll go on it. If there's a queue, I'll walk the other way.
Did you want to give the Coaster Capturers a message regarding their upcoming quiz next week?
Do I want to give them a message?
Yeah, do you want to give them some trash talk, or do you want to give them some good luck about the quiz next week?
I'm probably not going to wish him luck. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, you haven't got the worst score that I've ever had on it, so
good luck, Coaster Capturer.
Is there anything else you want to talk about before we wrap this up?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for having me on. It's been such a pleasure. It's the first time being invited on any kind of talk show or online theme park chat.
We never even talked about the I'll talk about it another time. The car festival you went to recently, or the car show.
The car show.
Yeah, we'll have to have another show where we get you on with Jerry Cannell and we talk cars, because he used to be a race driver and not a lot of people.
Oh, I'd love to. That would be amazing. That would be absolutely. That would be fantastic.
Before he was Dr. Calvin, he used to be a race driver.
See, people hate Saw. I agree with you. I hate Colossus. I love it.
I don't like the legroom on it.
I hate the legroom on it. It is so cramped. It is unbelievably cramped.
You excited about Inversion?
I love the ride. It's the first.
About the one in Flamingo Land that's opening Inversion.
I'm going to head up there now in 3 months. I'm heading up there.
Are you going to stay on site?
You can film in Flamingo Land as well. So I'm going to take
you've got a GoPro.
I'll be having a 360 camera on there. I love Colossus. The first heavily banked turn going over the top. Oh, I love it. Brilliant coaster. Fantastic.
That's not on the one at Flamingo Land.
I can't wait.
It's got a slightly different layout. It goes down and then it banks round to the loop rather than it kind of banks after the drop rather than bank and then have a drop, if you see what I mean.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it's just like
it's going to be interesting. That is different. Thank you so much for having me on. It's been a real pleasure. Thank you to all the people who are watching. Thank you to my trailers. I don't call them subscribers, my trailers.
Do you want to tell people about? I'll put it in the description when the video is done as well. But do you want to tell people about your social media tags where to find you and stuff?
Yeah, of course. I'm everywhere. Check me out on YouTube, Breaking Trails, Theme Parks and Attractions. Instagram, Breaking Trails UK. TikTok, Breaking Trails. Facebook, Breaking Trails. Yeah, I'm everywhere. Like I said, it's on the t-shirt. Other side, other side, other side. Yeah, it's all on there. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. They're all on there. Go and check me out. Thank you to all my trailers. I love you so much. Thank you.
But yeah, thanks for coming on. And we'll, as I say, I'll talk Jerry into coming on again. Talk about his race cars at some point. I think that'd be really cool.
I'd love that. That would be
I think you're a big fan of his.
Yeah, so, I'd love to do that. That'd be a pleasure. Absolute privilege.
I appreciate you coming on because it was
anytime.
the first time we met.
Anytime.
And I'll see Coaster Capturers next week for that.
Yes.
That quiz. That is the big. It's the big event next week, I think.
Good luck, Coaster Capturers.
Oh, Jerry says he'll come on at some point, and we'll talk everything.
Oh, mate, Jerry, that would be absolutely, that would be insane. Thank you so much, Jerry. Thank you. Thank you.
But yeah,
thank you.
we'll wrap it up there. But thank you for coming on, Matt. I do actually.
Anytime, my friend.
People, yeah.
See you later, guys.
See you guys. I'll see you next week, and I'll see you, Dal and Jess. We'll see if we can beat 5 out of 10.